Hi, my name is Himanshu Jain, and I am Senior Product Manager for IoT Solutions. I will walk you through the Asset Essentials integration with Smart Assets. In the Asset Essentials, we have provided two interactions for launching the Smart Assets platform. One interaction is from App Launcher, and you can see the Smart Assets option in here. The other interaction is on the asset view screen, wherein a managed sensor interaction has been added to launch the Smart Assets application. Smart Assets is a partner application that has been white labeled for Brightly. If a user in Asset Essentials is opening the Smart Assets through managed sensor on the asset, it will redirect the user to the Smart Assets platform. And as part of this single sign-on based seamless launching of the Smart Assets platform, the system will create the asset from Asset Essentials into the Smart Assets world if it's not already created. It will also create the Asset Essentials users in the Smart Assets world if it's not already created. So from a user's perspective, the experience is seamless. They do not need to worry about creating their user and roles in the Smart Assets application. They do not need to worry about the assets being created in the Smart Assets application. So now the Smart Assets application is launched. It is brightly rebranded, and we can see Employee Fridge, from which I've launched the Smart Assets, is available as an asset that is being managed from the Smart Assets application as well. Now, the clients will add the physical sensors to this asset. They can purchase the physical sensors from our partner, My Devices, who have a catalog of hardware sensors ranging from temperature, air quality to many more, and the possibilities are endless. From a demo perspective, there is an option of adding a simulated device, which is a non-physical device, but has all the characteristics of a device. So if you add a simulated device, it provides with a catalog of the sensors that our partner provides, and can see it has a lot of sensors listed in here, and users can add a sensor for a demo purpose. In the real world, it will be a real sensor like this refrigerator sensor. At the bottom, there is no blue button here. So it's a real sensor. The blue button is for the simulated data. Once the sensors are added to an asset, for example, it's an employee fridge, a freezer sensor has been added, which captures the temperature and humidity. Alerts can be created on these sensors on that asset. So this is again an intuitive user interface. So there's an existing alert. You can switch on and off or create new. I'm editing this alert, and this alert allows user to say, okay, which device, which sensor device the alert is on, what reading of that sensor the alert is about, and then what are the threshold values. So in this case, we are saying if this freezer sensor reports a temperature above 50 degrees F or below 32 degree F, and if there is a single reading that reports that, we call that as an anomaly, and this should trigger an alert so that appropriate action can be taken. Additionally, the users of Smart Assets application, which will be the users of the Asset Essentials who launch the Smart Assets application at least once, can be added as notification if in case there is an alert. So this is an alert that has been created, and the threshold values are 50 and 32. I go back to my list and I will use this simulated device option. Currently, the temperature is in 39.2 degrees F, which is within the range. I simulate the data and it is going to 31.5, which is below the threshold limit that has been set. And you can see the reading that is now in alert state has turned red. The corresponding sensor has turned red, and the corresponding asset has turned red. So there is a visual indicator which tells user that a particular sensor and a particular asset is an alert state for the corresponding reading. Now, if I go to Asset Essentials, this is the Asset Essentials work order list that is integrated with the Smart Assets. Currently, you see all the work orders are either in closed or completed state. If I refresh Asset Essentials, we should see a new alert, a new work order that has been generated as a result of an alert in Asset Essentials. And this work order will carry a generated from tag of smart assets. So we can see from smart assets, a new request has been created on freezer sensor temperature alert. And using the routing rules of Asset Essentials, this work order can be routed to a particular user of Asset Essentials and assigned a particular priority so that it can be taken to its completion. Along with the work orders being created in Asset Essentials, the users also get email notifications. So it was my email address on that alert in the smart assets world. If I go in to my if I go into my inbox, you can see there's a new smart assets demo email that has arrived. If I click on that demo email, you will see it is white label as well to say an alert has been received from the smart assets demo environment, and it is again brightly branded for smart assets. It says the freezer temperature alert has been reported on this asset, and the reading is 31.5, which is outside the minimum threshold of 32.0F. So that is how smart assets notifies the user as well as creates a workflow in Asset Essentials. Within the smart assets application, the users not only have the option of viewing the list of all the assets and the sensors that are managed, they also have a floor plan and a map view option available. So if I go on a floor plan layout, you can upload a PDF or an image, and then you can drop the sensors which are provisioned on that floor plan. So this is currently loading an image which has already been uploaded. And once this image loads, it should show us the sensors that are attached. Okay, so I'm for now opening the map view. The floor plan layout view was taking some time. So this is a map view. This is our office building. And because all the assets currently have an address of office from Asset Essential, there's a site address. It has this address and all the sensors are listed. This is a refrigerator, this is machine sensor, and this is the freezer sensor. And you can see the freezer sensor is in alert state and it is blinking red. So in the map view, you can visualize which reading is in alert state. So that's the map view of the asset and the sensors that are being managed in the smart assets application. Similarly, there is a floor plan view that can be viewed as well. On the smart assets application, users can also see the history of the data that has been received. So this is the history of data that is available in the tabular form. You can see it on a day, week, month basis. It tells how many readings have been received in that particular time, what has been the minimum and maximum value of the readings, and what is the individual reading. This can also be shown on a chart. And since this was a simulated device, the readings are not very linear because every time we click the button, it just sends the readings. And you can see the readings. It tells what is the temperature line. So the orange line is the temperature line, and every time there is an alert state triggered because of reading is a triangle. So by visualizing this chart, users can see over a period of day, week, month, or 6 months or a year how an asset has been behaving for its condition that are being monitored. That is a brief overview of smart assets. Thank you very much.